Hello and welcome back to the Totally Football podcast. Today is going to be a slightly different episode. We're going to be looking at the Champions League round of 16 and the Europa League round of 32. I'm Harrison Derlin and I'm joined with Sean Deacon. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Pretty happy about West Ham, but we're not going to talk about that too much today because our focus, as I said, is the Champions League draw.
The big
To be honest, mate, we have got some very, very nice...
very tasty games.
Yeah, very tasty games. So with the one top of the list that we're going to talk about first is Dortmund PSG. Who is the favourite for you in that one?
Well, it should be PSG, shouldn't it really? But I think Dortmund will win because, well, PSG are professional bottle jobs. They do it. They'll probably win the first leg, then lose the second.
Yeah, thing is with Dortmund, right? They're like one game they'll be like really impressive, and you'll
when
think,
they're on it,
like they are a top team. You know, they nearly won the league. Was it last year or the year before?
Last year they nearly won it.
Yeah, last year, and then they bottled it right at the end. And it's like
they're not doing as well this year, but
they're a team that I feel do underachieve in Europe. I think with some of the players they've got, like Royce and
when was the last
Sancho.
Did they get to the final in 2013?
Something like that, yeah. I think it was
when they lost to
2013.
Bayern.
Yeah, Robin basically tapped it past the keeper, didn't he?
Since then, they just had all their talent taken away, really, and they haven't really... I don't even know the last time they had a good push in the Champions League.
I think they got to the quarterfinals a couple of years ago, but But then again, with PSG, you look at it and I think they're just slightly stronger. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I really want Dortmund to win because I hate PSG. I hate Man City, both for the same reason. They are literally the ones that have ruined this. The whole transfer market, really. Especially that Neymar transfer.
PSG's
and you got the
basically run by
Mbappe one.
a country.
If you look at it, someone like Coutinho, when he was at Liverpool a while back. Yeah, people used to look at him and go, he's a 30, 40, maybe 50 million pound player. Now he's 120 million.
Speaking of Coutinho, did you see the hat trick he scored on the weekend?
No, I saw that they won. Was it 4-1?
Oh no, they won like 6-1.
Was it 6-1?
Yeah, Bayern. It was.
When I last looked, it was 4-1.
It was a beautiful hat trick.
I'll tell you what. Coutinho is one of the most underrated players in the entire world. I love him so much.
When he was at Barca, he was awful. He's a bit patchy now at Bayern, but when on his day, he's on his day.
I feel like when people go to Barcelona and we go to Real Madrid and like top clubs, especially in Spain, if you do not perform like Messi or Ronaldo, pretty much, you're going to get slagged off. I mean, you've got some Barcelona fans saying they can't stand Suarez and play. Come on, he's one of the top strikers in the world.
You can just look at Gareth Bale. He's done so much for Real Madrid.
Look at Gareth Bale. And I saw a thing on Instagram the other day. Like one of those things where it's like GOAT, great and all that, and they're all ranking players. He said that Bale was massively overrated.
No
How?
way.
How was he overrated? Yeah, he was on the bench for the Champions League final, comes on and scores 2, and one of them was one of the greatest goals you've ever seen.
Especially in the final.
If he comes back to the Premier League, one of the best players in the league, bar none, 100%.
His only problem throughout his career is injuries.
Yeah, I suppose, but at the same time, mate, if he came to West Ham, I wouldn't be excited, because, I was excited when Haller came, because he was supposed to be brilliant, but we just ruin every player that turns up, I think. But
with Bale's injury record, he'll probably just never actually play.
But with the, I'm pretty sure the first leg is at Dortmund, right?
Yeah.
Dortmund, I believe. I'm looking at it right now.
It is in Dortmund.
It says Dortmund versus PSG, so I'm presuming it goes Dortmund for PSG first, and then the opposite for the second leg.
If Dortmund are on their day, but part of me just feels like PSG should actually break. Like at one point, it will click, and they'll probably win the Champions League. I don't know when that will happen.
I think they still need to add. Their midfield, I think, lets them down. Because
They
when
have
you look
such
at
a
it,
good midfield, though.
really,
Yeah.
when you compare it to other teams like Barcelona,
Got Verratti, and then I
he's
think
alright, but he's not.
going Marquinhos plays in midfield now.
No,
Don't he?
he's a centre half.
Yeah, but he
Isn't
play. I
I think he can play holding.
I think they play
midfield,
him
but-
as holding midfielder now because they got like Kimpembe.
Yeah.
And then you got Gay. Just
It's just a guy on a gate
Yeah.
from Everton. He's a decent player, but
I mean, when they played Real Madrid in the group stages the first time, he bossed the game.
oh yeah, I'm not saying they got a terrible midfield, but when you compare it to so look at Barcelona, Rakitic, De Jong,
Rakitic
Players-
doesn't even play.
but that just proves how good their midfield is. When Rakitic isn't even playing, I think he's a top player.
Also, all the attacking force they have, I feel like they should beat Dortmund if they do have.
I think
even
if Mbappe is on his game, they will beat Dortmund just because of him. I think Mbappe is more important to PSG than Neymar.
Oh yeah, he's been
Definitely.
overshadowed by.
But I feel that Neymar's kind of been like pushed aside, and Mbappe's gone, you know what, this is my, I'm going to carry this team, not you. And I think Mbappe is a better player than Neymar, in my opinion, but obviously that's going to be a bit of a controversial thing to say, because Mbappe's only been in the game a couple of years, but Neymar's only ever played alongside top players. I know he was back out in Brazil, but I think my nan could score out in Brazil at some of these clubs, I'm not saying the Brazilian league is terrible, but it's
Brazilian
nothing
brings some
like the
amazing
European
talents.
leagues. But sticking to Dortmund PSG, if you had to choose a winner, who would it be to go through to the quarterfinals?
No, I'm going to go Dortmund because PSG just have such a bad track record in this competition.
I'm gonna say if Dortmund can keep all their players fixed. I'm not sure about their injuries at the moment.
I think they're alright.
I think they're alright at the moment, but Royce has quite a big injury record.
I mean, he's fit right now, so.
If they can keep their players fit and PSG aren't at their very best, I think Dortmund have got a chance. I want Dortmund to win, but I think PSG will get past them. I do think so I'm going to go PSG.
It'll be a good game.
I think it'll be a brilliant game. I mean, there's a whole list. I think there's only probably one game that I'm not too bothered about, and that's Atlanta Valencia. Pardon me.
They're both good sides. I
Valencia.
don't care that much, but
Yeah,
sides.
but we'll get to that. That's the third one on the list. But you got the second one down, which is one of the tastiest ones, I'll be honest. Real Madrid versus Manchester City.
Man City will turn them over.
You reckon?
Watch it. Yeah. Real Madrid have just been. Well, I don't know what's happened to them since Ronaldo's left. They've just turned to piss.
I think Benzema is underrated though.
I think he's getting the ratings he deserves now.
Yeah, but when you look at it, I do feel that like he is when Ronaldo was there, he was overshadowed a lot, and he is a top striker. I remember when Arsenal were after him 2 or 3 years back, and you had all Arsenal fans saying, including my brother. My brother's an Arsenal fan. They're all saying, "Oh, he's rubbish. Why would we want him?" Tell you what, he's him, and if you had him and Aubameyang up front, I would not be complaining. He's definitely as good as Lacazette. 100%. Definitely. And if any Arsenal fans want to argue, let us know in the comments.
Has Benzema retired from international football, or does he just not get picked anymore?
Do you remember he had that sex tape thing, wasn't it, with that Val Bueno who plays for Olympiacos now? He had that sex tape scandal, and he was like banned from going to the Euros, I think it was. I'm not sure whether he retired since then or whether he's banned.
I mean, they have so many good strikers. So
I mean, they have got a ridiculous team in France, and they'll probably win the Euros. But we had that discussion thing on the last podcast, so we're not going to go into the Euros. But if you had to choose one, Real Madrid, Man City, you're saying Man City.
Yeah, I mean,
why?
Because Laporte would be back then,
right?
And I think they'll have if they have a full strength side, because Pep he has to go for like full. He has to go for it now. So I reckon.
What, down tools a little bit in the Prem and
go for the title, they've already
go for the Champions League?
I think the Prem's already gone. They should just full focus on Champions League, and I reckon they could. I reckon they could beat.
I know
Real
this
Madrid.
sounds ridiculous, right? But Liverpool were 10 points clear last season. I know they're 17 points clear now. But what's to say that they couldn't mess that up?
Yeah, I know, but I don't think Man City are the same team they were.
Do you
last
reckon
year.
Leicester have got a better chance than Man City then?
Well, I do, but I still don't think they have a chance.
Yeah. So you reckon that the Premier title's
Oh, yeah.
gone?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to argue against that, but we're going to stick to the Champions League before we start going off topic. So, I think for me, I can see Real Madrid like scraping a 1-0 or they'll get battered.
Nah.
I'm not sure, but I
Wait,
think-
will Sane be back? Or is he out for the whole season?
no, I think he's out until around February. I'm not sure.
I mean, the first leg's in February.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was end of January.
Nah. I think it's like end of February, like beginning of March.
No, it's beginning of February, I think.
Oh, beginning of February.
Beginning of February,
March.
actually. Yeah. Because I remember the Dortmund-Tottenham game last year was in February, I'm pretty sure. Because I was doing my research for my project, and it said about that. But Real Madrid, Man City, I think Man City will have enough to get past. And I don't think Real Madrid were quite what they were when they won the 3 Champions Leagues on trot. I mean, even that third one, the only reason they won that is because of Karius and how bad he was.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't
most
win that
definitely.
because they
and
were
Salah
great.
got injured.
Real Madrid weren't great that year. They were great the 2 years before.
I mean,
that.
you could tell. I think everyone could see that they were going off the rails a little bit. That's why Zidane left. Then he came back for some stupid.
I think he
reason.
almost left as if like to try and prove a point of, I know it's about to go downhill. I'm going to leave you. It'll all go downhill, and then I'll come back and improve it, and they'll
think he
be
left
like,
because he
"Oh my
reached-
god, you left, and that's why it went all wrong."
He left because he reached the pinnacle of club.
Yeah, I
management,
suppose he had no
really.
more to prove. But why would he go back if he? What was the point?
I don't know why he went back.
But Man City to go through. So far we got, well, PSG or Dortmund. I'm saying PSG. I want Dortmund to go through.
I reckon they could. I reckon they will.
That'll be I reckon that'll be one of the tightest ones. But Man City, we both think
Yeah.
they'll definitely go through.
Yeah.
Then you got, as I said earlier, Atlanta, Valencia. Oh well, I think
Well, I mean,
Valencia
this is Atalanta's
first
first
ever
season in
Champions League appearance.
I reckon
isn't it?
Valencia
Yeah.
will beat them.
I was surprised that I think it was Shakhtar Donetsk didn't get through. 'Cause they're not too bad of a side.
They were bottom of their group. I wasn't really following their group that much, but I don't really know how they somehow managed to
but last
scrape.
time I looked, Atlanta
Yeah.
were bottom, and then all of a sudden I look at the draw and I just see Atlanta, and I'm like, wait, what? How's that happen then?
I think because like
They must have won the last couple of
they beat
games.
Shakhtar and
Yeah.
Dynamo. Just didn't know
Yeah.
that would have been enough.
Mate, even Dynamo Kiev.
With Zagreb.
Oh,
yeah.
Zagreb. Sorry, got my names mixed up. Dynamo go with Zagreb. Is that the team with like the
It's the
Croatia-looking
Croatian
badge,
team.
isn't it? Yeah. They actually looked dangerous for the first couple of games and that, but Valencia for me,
I like both of
considering
their teams.
right, in my opinion, right, Ajax are such a good team. I actually love them. Like they are. If I could choose a team to win the Champions League, it'd probably be Ajax.
They're gonna go and win the Europa League now,
Yeah, probably.
or them or Inter.
I just like even now they've lost a couple of their really good players like De Jong and De Ligt and players like that. Obviously, they've still got Ziyech. They've still got Neres, and players like that. Onana, another player who's a Team of the Year nominee, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
and I just love the way they play football. I think they play along the floor. They play quick. They play positive football, forward passing. They try and win the ball back straight away after losing it. I just love the energy they have about their team. It reminds me of Liverpool, but like obviously not quite as good as Liverpool. But like when you look at Ajax, they just bring through.
They have
Youth,
they have like the best academy in the world.
but anyway, get back onto my point. The fact that Valencia went through the group and Ajax didn't, that means that this Valencia side must be half decent. They're no mugs.
I mean, they beat Ajax on the
1-0, wasn't it?
final game 1-0. I watched the highlights. I mean, it seemed very tight.
Tell you what, that Ziyech at Ajax, by the way, oh, what a player. My God, what a player. How is he still at Ajax? How's he still at Ajax?
Someone will pick him up soon.
I reckon he'll end up at a top club. Top club.
It's probably Spurs.
I hope not, because that won't be us winning any more derbies for a while. But so I'm saying Valencia. I think they'll run away with it.
I don't think they'll run away with it because they're both good size, both pacey. But I reckon Valencia will win.
Yeah, I just think Atlanta don't quite have the experience, considering that this is their first ever.
Yeah, I don't think they have the experience.
But Valencia, definitely, I think they'll go for it. I reckon for me, that's probably one of the most obvious choices. I reckon.
It's obvious on paper. Ajax could easily pull.
I mean, anything can happen in football, but when
Especially
you're looking at
knockout
this
football.
list, once we get to the end, I think we'll both realise that Valencia, Atlanta is the most obvious one. Maybe Real Madrid, Man City, but it's not really obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone is interested in the Atlanta-Valencia game, let us know in the comments what you think will happen there. If you have been watching either of the teams, or say you're a Man City fan and you've seen your team play against them, Chelsea fan, let us know what you think of just that fixture, I suppose. But I'm saying Valencia. What are you saying?
Valencia.
Yeah, I think it definitely. Moving on, we got a very tasty one. I reckon this will be the one that I want to watch the most, maybe. There's a lot, but it's Atletico versus Liverpool.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, who did this draw, what a man.
I think it's fixed. Probably
But
is.
I mean, I don't know. Atletico are a brilliant side.
I mean, Atletico could give him some trouble. Still think Liverpool will win.
I don't know. That could be one of the biggest shocks, though. I reckon that could be like...
They could... they could... Nah. Like, I feel like Atletico could, but I don't think they will. Like, they're a good enough team. They're a sturdy enough team. They're good in defence.
Do you reckon, though, right? Because Atletico are like a team who like to basically get everyone behind the ball, and then when they win it, kind of build up the play. They're not like a traditional fast counter-attacking team. They're like we'll sit back, we'll wait for our chance, and then we'll like kind of build out the back.
One of the few teams that still play 4-4-2.
Yeah.
And
I mean, like that, but they are
well.
quite a defensive team, but they still play good football. If that makes sense, like they don't play Sam Allardyce football, then they don't play Pep Guardiola football. They're like a mixture.
They play
in between.
Simone football.
Yeah, I think he's a brilliant manager. He's done a brilliant job there as well. Lovely stadium there as well.
Beautiful stadium.
But
I mean, and Liverpool won the Champions League last year.
But
There.
that midfield, right, from Liverpool, it has been caught out a couple of times. And when it has been caught out, it's because they've struggled to break down teams from the midfield. I mean, when you look at a couple of wins they got this season, it's been from the centre halves, cutting through defences with long ball passes over the top, not the midfield. So, say Atletico drop deep, and they know how to defend. I mean, they've got results against top teams. They nearly went through instead of Juventus last year if it wasn't for CR7 getting a hat-trick in that second leg. What happens if Atletico defend well enough and then they break down Liverpool?
For like Atletico, for them to win, they have to be perfect.
Yeah, they have to be at their best.
For every minute, every second.
Yeah,
because
if you switch off,
give like that front three like half a chance. They gotta punish you. And their defense is good. They are a bit leaky this season, but I definitely think Liverpool will win.
You reckon? I think it'll be tighter than you think. Much.
I mean, it'll be tight, but I still think Liverpool will pull it out.
Yeah, I can't see past Liverpool. I really do like that Atletico team. But if Atletico did win, as I said, I think it will be because they defend so well, and that Liverpool midfield isn't the
Gladiators.
most creative. I'm not saying they're not creative at all,
Yeah,
because to be
that's-
fair, Henderson and Wijnaldum, players like that, have improved on their creativity.
But then the
and their
fullbacks
passing.
shine, don't they? They're
Yeah,
the like
yeah.
creators, really.
Oh
in the
yeah,
team.
they're almost like they're wide midfield players rather than
Mhm.
fullbacks, and then like the wingers kind of more central, and like you very rarely see Mane running down the byline. You normally see him in the box. That's why he scores so many goals. Same with Salah, but I don't know. I would put money on Atletico like as an outside bet, if that makes sense. Because I reckon Liverpool are so desperate for the league. I don't know. I don't think they're down tools for the Champions League. But say they've got a big game coming up when it's scheduled. I'm not sure when it's scheduled. I probably should have had a look. But
Wait, who you talking about? Sorry.
I'm talking about Liverpool around the time of when they
yeah.
play Atletico. Say they're against, for example, Man City or someone who might get points off of them. They might go, you know what? Champions League
But
really isn't our priority, so we're going to rest a
if-
few players.
If they still had as big of a lead as they have now,
Do you reckon they
they
won't be
most
bothered about
definitely-
dropping a couple of points?
I mean, yeah, they should think that because they should want to win the Champions League and the Premier League and
Yeah, I suppose they could go for like the treble or the double.
the quadruple. I mean, they still
Yeah.
can.
I don't think they'll do that, but I
No,
know.
I
I know
think
what
they
you're
have
saying.
too many games.
But as I say, I would put an outside bet on Atletico, and I think Atletico definitely have more of a chance than what people are giving them.
Actually, wait. Now you say it, I feel like actually at the same time, I don't think Liverpool actually mind that much if they went out of the Champions League.
That's what I'm saying. 'Cause
Actually, yeah.
I think they care more about the Premier League, like because
I mean,
if they don't win the
I don't think
Premier
they'll
League
down
this
tools
season,
and like basically give the Champions League away.
but you reckon mentally they won't have the hunger there
Well,
maybe as much because they won it last
I feel
year.
like Klopp wants them really to win the Premier League. That's what he wants. He's won the Champions League. I mean, he'll be happy. He'll want to win the Champions League again, but yeah, they won't down tools as such. But
I feel that I think it's natural. It's not. They don't do it on purpose. But if you've already won the Champions League, right, and this is what was so impressive about that Real Madrid team that won it 3 years on the trot. If you've already won it, right, same with the Man City team in the Premier League. If you already won it, is there really the hunger to go and win it again? I think there'll be more hunger to go and win the Premier League because what happened last year. Because if you
especially
look
when
at,
they haven't won the Premier League.
Because if you look at the Real Madrid final, right, where Karius had a stinker and that sort of thing, and they're all gutted, that must have given them so much hunger and grit and determination. They were like, we are going to win this year. No one's going to stop us, especially Barcelona. And I just feel like now they've done that, now that they've kind of gone through that, the same happened last year. They were nicked. They were absolutely robbed of the Premier League title, right? I wanted Liverpool to win it. I don't know. I think I just like Liverpool as a club. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying I'm a Liverpool fan, but I much prefer them to Man City because
I don't really want either of them to win, but out of the two,
I
I'd
just
rather
feel like
Liverpool.
the Liverpool fans, some of them are actually real, whereas I feel like every single Man City fan, other than like that Gallagher brother, or whatever his name is,
Liam,
yeah,
both of them actually.
yeah. I just feel like a lot of them are fake, like, especially the ones that I know. I mean, have you the guy who's on the kickoff with True Geordie and that?
Yeah,
He's got to be. He's a fake Man City fan. If you want to argue with me in the comments, just.
I mean, I don't think anyone will argue with you. Have you seen the comments on the kickoff? I mean, nobody likes him.
He just chats so much crap. Anyway, I'm not going to have a rant about him. I just think like a lot of Man City fans are like what Man United fans used to be, which is glory hunters, and
that's because all the Man U fans are like that, and now Man City fans.
Yeah, they've converted. But what were we saying? We were talking about Atletico Liverpool. Yeah,
Yes.
I think that what happened last season is that obviously Liverpool were robbed of the title, but I just feel that Liverpool are really gonna want to win that this year. Now they've got a 17-point lead. You could look at it and go, we're going to go for the Champions League as well because we can afford to drop 3 or 4 points or whatever. Or they might want to stay safe and go, you know what, we want to get to a 20-point lead or something like that, and then we'll go, right, now we'll focus on the Champions League. Because it's.
I think
If I was a Liverpool fan, I'd care only about the league. I mean, the Champions League would just be a bonus for me.
I think if they feel like they're safe enough in the league, then they'll put their full focus into it.
Yeah.
But I still think they'll beat Atletico.
Yeah, I just don't think it'll be as convincing as a lot of people think it'll be.
Oh no.
But outside bet, you know what? I'm gonna go with it. I don't think this will happen, but I've got a slight kind of what's it
inkling.
called? Like I've got like slight instinct, kind of gut feeling that Atletico are gonna go through. I just think it will happen. So sorry, I'm gonna go Atletico to go through, and you're saying Liverpool, yeah?
Yep.
It'd be funny to look back at these February, March
I'll probably
time.
be all wrong.
Yeah, probably. But Valencia better go through because I've basically made them sound like they're going to win the whole lot. But moving on, we've got Chelsea Bayern Munich. That is going to be a very good fixture.
Repeat of the 2012 final.
Apart from both teams have
Both
dramatically
teams have completely
got
changed.
worse.
Yeah, but for the fans.
But I mean, well, talk about Chelsea for a minute. They've kind of gone downhill a little bit. I'm not going to get.
I think
carried
everyone
away,
expected that to happen.
Yeah, I think it's almost like I don't think it's quite as extreme, but it's the same as like the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer kind of honeymoon period, everyone called it.
I think they'll be all right though, because I think
Yeah,
everyone just knew it was going to happen with such a young squad.
I think they'll be around 4th or 5th, but I don't think they'll finish 3rd. I think Leicester will get
definitely.
3rd.
No, Leicester will get 2nd.
Well, no. What I meant to say, Leicester will get top 3.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think Leicester will. I don't think Leicester will finish 2nd. I just think if they get a couple of injuries, once if Vardy gets injured, or
Yeah, I know.
I just feel that maybe their squad over the season, especially when you start having loads of midweek games, if they get a couple of injuries, I think that they're 100% going to get top 4. If Leicester don't get top 4, I'll be very shocked. Very shocked. But Chelsea, I think, obviously losing to us, losing to Bournemouth, and,
And to Everton.
Yeah, losing to Everton, but I mean, they
They'll
beat.
be all right. They'll lose to Bayern.
They beat what's it called, Lille 2-1 the Champions League to go through, didn't they? And even that, they didn't look too convincing. Chelsea Bayern. I mean,
if Bayern from the league show
Bayern
up,
are 5th, aren't they? Is it 5th?
I think they might be.
I'm pretty sure it's 5th because I think it's RB Leipzig, Dortmund, Mönchengladbach, Schalke.
It's Leipzig, Mönchengladbach, maybe Dortmund, and then
Schalke.
Freiburg. No, it's Freiburg, and then I think Schalke.
Schalke
Freiburg, I know, are 4th.
So Bayern 6th.
Maybe. I know they're really not doing well. But that's what I mean. Like, if the team from the league shows up, then they'll lose. But
but
if team that played Spurs,
that team that played
over.
Spurs, when Gnabry scored, was it 4 he scored that day, wasn't it? I'm sure it was 4.
Did he? I don't
yeah,
remember.
against Spurs when they won 7-2.
Yeah.
But I feel like Lewandowski is just another debate. I think he's in the top 3 or 4 strikers in the world.
He's the best striker in the world right now this season.
Yeah, I'd say so. But I don't think he's like well above the rest.
Oh no.
I think he's slightly in front, but I don't think he's like massively ahead, if that makes sense. But you look at I don't know what it is with Dortmund, right? You look at their team in the group stages and that, and they always seem to be decent. And then they get
Bayern?
to you what?
Are you talking about Bayern?
Yeah. And they always seem to just not be able to progress any further than semi-finals, maybe quarter-finals. They always just slightly underachieve, I feel.
Well, I don't know how. I reckon they'll probably get to the quarterfinals and probably get knocked out there this season. I have them nailed on to beat Chelsea. Nailed on. Because, they're winning, They've won like 6. They've won by like 6 goals, like 3 times in the league this year, and
They won 6-1, as you said,
yeah.
on Sunday. So maybe they're getting back into a bit more form. But
Well,
I've
I mean,
got
they're
the
a bit
table up
patchy,
here.
but
RB Leipzig are first on 33 points. Modern Gladbach are second on 31. Didn't Oxford? No, he went to Augsburg in the end, didn't he? He went
Yeah,
on
he
loan
went
to
to
Modern Gladbach, and then he was at
I don't even think he
Augsburg.
plays at Augsburg.
Where are Augsburg in the league? Where are they? 11th. Huh. Out of 18. Yeah, well done, mate. You've progressed your career very much there. And then you got Dortmund third, 29 points. Schalke fourth, 28.
Oh,
And
yeah,
Bayern
Schalke.
Munich fifth,
They're
27. Freiburg are sixth on
okay.
25. They were probably up there a few weeks back. but
Yeah.
I think even they are overachieving.
Oh, they're achieving massively.
Yeah, definitely. Do you reckon they're like I don't know much about the Bundesliga, other than like the main sides, like the top 5 or 6 or whatever. Do you reckon they're similar to like a Sheffield United, maybe slightly better, but like in the way that they're overachieving, but they're still a great side?
I'm not sure, because I think they're in the Bundesliga like regularly.
Yeah.
I don't. To be honest, I'm not really that much of an expert on.
Yeah,
Bundesliga.
it just that's from an outsider's point of view. That's how I could compare it. And then you've got like we are literally like the definition of like Wolfsburg, aren't we? We're just that mid-table team, or like Frankfurt.
No, we're the definition of Hertha Berlin. They should be pushing more, but now they're down the bottom.
14th.
Yeah.
15 points after 15 games. But anyway, before we get off topic, Chelsea Bayern. As you said, it depends on what Bayern we actually like that turns up on both legs.
I reckon Bayern could easily, in the first leg, turn them over, and the second leg will be done already. Are they playing away?
I'm going to go... Oh, God. I think I'm going to go Bayern. I think they got more experience with people like Boateng. I don't know if he actually plays anymore. Hummels.
Hummels plays for Dortmund now.
He doesn't, does he?
Yeah.
You are joking.
He went back in the summer.
Oh, God, he did.
It's
Who's they got at the back?
Nicholas Schul. Can't say his name.
Schulz.
Then
Nicholas Schul and who else plays at the back?
I think it is Boateng.
Yeah, of course he did. Of course, Hummels went back to Dortmund. Oh God, that's embarrassing. But what I'm trying to get at is they've got a little bit more experience. Like Xavi Martinez, for example, more experience.
And you've got Lewandowski.
Yeah, Lewandowski. And they've also got a bit of pace in their team. Quality in Coutinho, Lewandowski.
Alonso Davies, do you know about him? Canadian.
Alphonso Davies, Isn't he the Canadian kid?
Yeah, he's Canadian. Yeah. He's like 19.
Yeah, he's... Mate, I saw... I think it was against Tottenham. He came back and made like a last-ditch tackle. And all of his teammates were like slapping him around the face. Like, you know, when they're like all like hyped up and stuff. Like when they did to Sam Byram that time against Swansea. When he made that like last-ditch tackle and then Ginger Pele was just slapping him in the face. That was hilarious.
Really hyped.
But I do feel I'm going to go Bayern. I like Bayern's team. I think they've got more quality than Chelsea. But don't slag me off in the comments. Not that anyone actually comments on these podcasts, but please feel to slag me off actually, because I just want people to comment their opinions on the topics. Let us know so far. Who do you think will go through out of the teams you've spoken about so far? I'm going to go Bayern. Who are you going with?
Bayern.
Is there any reason why, or the same reason as me?
Give my reasons.
Yeah, I suppose. For me, it's more about just quality in general and big game players. Whereas Chelsea, young, inexperienced.
They're young, so
even the manager's inexperienced. I understand playing, but managing and playing, two separate things, obviously. But yeah, Bayern Munich to go through on that one then. This one, you know, I said Atlanta Valencia is going to be the most obvious one of who's going to go through. I think this one might be. I'm not saying they're a terrible team, but you got Lyon versus Juventus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Juve,
even
I
think
don't
we
think
need
we
to
need to
discuss
yeah.
that. I mean,
Memphis Depay is apparently injured for I think the rest of the season.
is he actually?
Yeah, and he's the best player.
Wow.
They're done for really.
And I literally can't even think of anyone else who's in their team. I know that guy who plays for Portugal, Lopez. I don't even think he plays for them. But I saw him at some point. Lopez, you know, the goalie. And they've got
I think so.
no.
I don't really know Leon that much.
Mate, Leo. I can't even think of any of their players. That's how relevant they are.
To be honest, it's nailed on. Unless it's a shock, it would be a huge shock.
That'd be the biggest upset, definitely.
Yeah.
But Juventus, just quality side, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd like to
Struggling
see
a bit in the league this year because I don't know if Inter is still top.
I
But
think
went
they
top for
are.
one
And I
game.
think Napoli won with 2 goals in the last, in added time. And I think they've gone up there with the other 2, and they're all
I think
battling
I think
it
Napoli are
out.
doing awful.
Who have?
I think Napoli are like 7th or 6th.
No, but I think they've gone back up. I'll get it.
Ancelotti got fired. He didn't get fired for no reason.
Okay then, I'm wrong. Napoli are 8th.
Hey.
I literally saw something earlier that said that they were back up there or something. Wow. I must have been reading about someone else. Was it Lazio I was reading about? It must have been. Was it Lazio or Roma, something like that? But yeah, you got the top 3 or 4 is Inter, Juventus, Lazio, Roma. I think I love Antonio Conte. What a manager! Inter
I really
last
hope Inter
season,
win.
I don't even think they did. Of course, they must have got top 4 because they were, but they weren't really challenging.
Oh no.
This season. Now
With
challenging
Lukaku.
with definitely the best team in Italy is Juventus.
Most definitely. And against
but-
Leon.
Well, they're talking about Pep obviously going into Juve because apparently they're struggling, even though they're level on points with top place. That just proves how spoiled they've been, really, over the last few years. But that's another debate for another day, isn't it, really? Unless you want to go into it, do you want to go into Pep and Juve and that sort of thing?
I mean, I haven't even seen them rumours, so...
I mean, I'll tell you about it. Basically, a lot of press are saying that Pep's been linked with the Juve job, which makes sense because he's been at all the top clubs, Man City. When I say clubs, the teams that have the most money, because Man City are not a top club, they're absolute. But then you've obviously got Barcelona and Bayern. He's only really managed rich clubs. And Juventus the richest club? Maybe
the richest club in Italy.
All right, maybe alongside AC Milan or something like that. They're quite rich, but what I'm trying to get at is they're the main team that are going to compete or win stuff, and that just proves why Klopp's a better manager than Pep, because he actually has the balls to go into somewhere and achieve something rather than just get all the money given to him and then he goes, oh look, I'm amazing. And everyone just says how good he is, even though he has so much money to work with. And I'm pretty sure even if I had that money, I'd do just as good a job. Lovely. If you do disagree and you're a Man City fan, which probably not, because there's no Man City fans actually living, other than probably 3 or 4 that we mentioned in this podcast, let me know what you think of what I just said about Pep going to Juve. Would you like to see him move on? Are you getting fed up with not being top of the league for the first time in your life? Just let us know in the comments. Moving on to the next one, because obviously we both think Juve, right?
Yeah.
It's a pretty obvious choice. But I'd like to see Leon go through, being maybe another Ajax, but I'm not.
I don't think they will be.
No way. But yeah, Juve to go through there. We've got a couple more in the Champions League, and then we'll move on to the Europa League for all of you Arsenal fans and Man United fans, which there are plenty of, obviously. Big clubs, big fan bases that are a bit fed up, just like West Ham fans, but they're not used to it. We are, Sean, so don't worry about it. My chair just went down. You got Tottenham versus RB Leipzig, and obviously we just touched on the fact that Leipzig are top of the Bundesliga.
On paper, Tottenham should probably win. I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually know how that one will go.
You reckon on paper they're going to win?
Well, yeah, I know they're top.
Top
but
of the Bundesliga, and you got teams like
Yeah, I know,
Bayern
but
and Dortmund.
That they've only been in the Bundesliga for 3 years. Leipzig, obviously they've got all the Red Bull
Yeah, I
money.
mean they're apparently the
but-
most hated club in Germany because
Yeah,
they're
they
literally
are.
like the Man City. They
Yeah,
literally just
they're owned by
buy
Red Bull.
everyone. I'm pretty sure I remember when there was a player there. Oh no, that was RB Salzburg. I think Mane came from, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
he did.
Yeah, because you got plenty of Red Bull clubs. You got Red Bull. Is it New York Red Bulls?
Yeah.
And then you got RB Leipzig, RB Salzburg.
And then there's a few more.
There's a few
dotted
more.
around.
Yeah, I mean Red Bull are taking over the world. I wouldn't mind
Mhm.
if you buy West Ham Red Bull. To be honest,
I would. What?
you
Red-
would mind.
RB Irons.
RB
No,
West
God, no.
Ham, lovely.
And they were changed from the claret colour to red and white.
Actually, yes.
God no.
I mean, come here and basically just do what Mike Ashley did, which is stick stickers or signs on the side of, on top of the stadium that say the name of the company you want to promote. Just put Red Bull everywhere. You don't need to change your name. Just buy the club so we can be rich and spend loads of money and not have the two Davids in charge.
Simple.
But you've got RB Leipzig. They've got a goal difference of 26 in the Bundesliga, which is, to compare it to Bayern, they've got 20, which doesn't really make sense. Bayern's goal difference is 20, and yet they're much lower points.
It's because
than
they.
someone like
It's
Modern
because they.
Flashback.
It's because they've won 6.
Well, they either win
Right.
6-1 or they
Or-
lose 1-0.
Basically,
Yeah,
or 5-1, like they lost to Frankfurt.
that was the game that they sacked their manager, wasn't it?
Yeah, still haven't got a new one.
Have they? Wait, what? They still haven't appointed a new manager?
I don't think so.
I mean, I haven't heard anything about it. I thought
Yeah.
Poch was going in there. And there was also reports about Wenger going in.
I think they're just gonna wait until the end of the season.
I think that's a bit risky, isn't it?
Yes,
If I was them, I'd just get Poch.
I would just
100%.
get someone.
Poch, or you've got.
Get Tony Pulis.
I
He's
think
out
you
of job.
could go after Klopp, but I don't think he'd want to.
I mean, he signed a new contract, so
Yeah, I suppose. Brendan Rodgers? Nah,
he signed a new contract.
Yeah. Who's not signing new contracts these days?
Pep.
Yeah. That's because he wants to move on to the next big club, but never mind. So Tottenham, Leipzig. I think if players like Son and Kane and that are at their best, I do think they'll be able to get through.
I could see
But-
Leipzig winning though.
But considering how many goals, I think I saw a stat the other day. They scored 45 goals in 15 games or something like that. It was around 40 odd goals in the Bundesliga this season. Let me know in the comments if you just tell me if I'm wrong. But they've scored 40 odd goals, and considering Tottenham since Mourinho's come in, I think have they kept a clean sheet yet?
Wait, have they?
I don't
Yeah,
think-
against Burnley.
Oh yeah. So when they won that's their. I'm pretty sure that's their only clean sheet. Let me
Yeah.
know in the comments if I'm wrong, obviously. But from my knowledge, that is their only clean sheet. And considering Mourinho's defensive manager,
He's rebranded himself. He's just
yeah, I think he's gone away and gone. You know what? No one likes me. I'm not enjoying it. Let's just be happy and play attacking football. And if I get the sack, I get paid loads of money. And people go, "What did you sack him for? He was doing a good job because he was scoring loads of goals." Well, not him, but his team. Because if he went into Tottenham and immediately just parked the bus, I think
that's why Man U fans kind of got on his back because he played boring.
Yes, but at the same time, I think he also has more faith in his players at Tottenham. Because at Man United, I mean, he was literally coming out all the time saying Luke Shaw was overweight and saying that he wasn't good enough.
And he was overweight.
Are you what?
He was overweight.
Yeah.
He
but
never
you
said
still
anything
don't
untrue.
But you still don't come out and
Yeah,
say,
I know.
"Oh, he's overweight."
He believes in tough love, which sometimes isn't.
Yeah, I think you have to do that privately, though. You don't come out in public and call
Yeah.
someone fat, basically, and and basically just bully them, because that's not going to come across good. One, to the fans, and two, to the team. If I was a player in that team, I'd just lose respect for him a little bit. But anyway, I personally think RB Leipzig, they got a really good chance, because I think if they're going to get through and do anything in this competition, it's this year. their form. But I've got a feeling they might end up focusing on the league, maybe. Tottenham, they're getting results at the minute.
I don't know.
It's a tough one, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think if Tottenham
I don't reckon
are at
they'll
their
focus on the
best, I
league.
think they'll get through. But,
Yeah.
I
I don't know. It's a difficult one. I really don't know.
It's difficult. But if you had to put your money on someone, who would it be?
Well, I don't like Tottenham, so I'll go with Leipzig because I really just don't know.
I'm going to go with Tottenham. Only because I think Mourinho will find a way. I just think he'll find a way. I hope he doesn't, but I think he will. But so I'm going to go with Spurs. You're going to go Leipzig.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Leipzig, knock them out. And you got one more Champions League one. You got Napoli, Barcelona. What are you thinking about that one?
Well, the Napoli appointed Gattuso, is it? Who did an awful job at AC Milan. I don't get why they hired him. So I reckon
he's like a Marco Silva, isn't he? Obviously,
Yeah.
much better player. I don't even know if Marco Silva played. If he did, he was irrelevant. But
I think he played in Portuguese league probably.
Oh right. But Gattuso, brilliant player on his day and all that. He obviously used to play for Italy and other teams like AC Milan. But
he did an awful job at AC Milan.
I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand if he's done a terrible job at AC Milan. Why would he do a good job at Napoli?
When I saw it made no sense.
Yeah.
They're going to get destroyed by Barcelona. Watch it. The aggregate, it will probably be 6-0 in aggregate.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I just think Messi will have one of those games in either leg. He'll destroy them. They'll go through. Barcelona, we both saying that, yeah?
Yeah.
So Barcelona to go through on that one. We got.
Now, do you want to touch on the English sides? Yeah.
The English sides in the Europa League. By the way, as I said earlier, and I've said it about 5 times now, please do let us know in the comments for all of those fixtures we've just gone through. Who do you think will go through in the Champions League? And obviously, we're about to go through the Europa League. Let us know who you think will go through in that. Make sure you let us know your opinions, so then you can always come back and brag to us when you're right and we're wrong, when the fixtures actually take place. But the first one, we've got Olympiacos versus Arsenal. Obviously, Arsenal, I know a lot of Arsenal fans, big fan base. They expect a decent amount.
Will they?
Well, considering they won 3 league titles in 22 years, and they basically now expect to be the best in the world.
Got Freddie Ljungberg, who's still the manager, who openly said he doesn't want to be the manager.
That's a good start.
Like, Olympiacos, who I think have a good track record against English sides. Like,
I don't think they're too bad of a side, really.
No, they both have. Arsenal most definitely have the hardest draw out of the 3 English sides in Europa League.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, when I'm looking at them, yeah, definitely. But
I
think if
I can
Arsenal,
easily see them losing.
Let's be honest, if Arsenal want Champions League next year, they have to go for the Europa League. There's no way in hell they're going to get in the top 4.
They were at risk of not even going through the group stages.
What, when they played like teams like Victoria and
like
that?
They were drawing to them. They were losing. Yeah. I could easily see them.
They're a joke.
I could easily see them losing. And if they lost, I think the fans will go into a meltdown.
Oh, mate, if they lose, they just need to bring in a manager. I mean, did you see, I saw this and I was laughing my head off. Arsenal have apparently they have a short list of managers that is 15 managers long.
I saw that.
What?
Who did even have
Who are they? Because surely, for me, for it to be respectable, you probably have 3 or 4. And you go, right, we can't get him, we'll move on to him, and then maybe you get to the 3rd or 4th one and you're like, right, But imagine this is like the 15th one.
Who is the 15th one? There's not even that many managers out of job.
Going into Arsenal. I'm sure all Arsenal fans would love Tony Pulis, and so would I, because he'd do a terrible job.
Sam Allardyce is 3.
I mean, Sam Allardyce, pretty underrated. I know he...
he can't go in. They should probably just get Wenger back. Yeah.
If they do that, I'm sorry, the club is a joke. There's no way he'll go back after the amount of
The club's a joke
disrespect
anyway
he
now.
had in the last few
The
years.
club's a joke.
Who would you appoint if you were at Arsenal?
I have no clue. Who'd even want to go there? Who'd want to go there? Who's...
Thierry Henry?
He'll do awful as well.
Why?
He did awful with Monaco.
Do you not think it's slightly different?
Not really. I mean, if you can't manage Monaco, like if you need to get him relegated,
Yeah.
and they were looking at Vieira, who's doing... I don't think he's doing that good of a job at Nice.
I don't get that.
Just...
Sol Campbell did a good job at Macclesfield.
Oh, yes, Macclesfield. He's should be number one on the list.
But
They're probably
with
gonna stick...
Arsenal, I think they just need someone to get him, make sure they stabilise their position in, say, the top 7 or 8. I can't even see him getting top 5 or 6.
I can't even... I can't... Literally, as they look now and as they're playing out, I can't even see them getting top half.
Like, bold statement.
They're awful, aren't they? Oh, I'm not going to go on a rant about
But
Arsenal,
Arsenal fans, let us know if you agree with Sean. Do you think we'll get top half this season? Top 6, top 4? Do you think you'll win the league?
most
Because some of you are probably that bloody delusional. Like when you said, well, like when I had an argument with my brother one day about 6 or 7 months ago, and he started claiming, you know, when Arsenal went in that run of like 20 odd games unbeaten.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he claimed that Emery was a better manager than Pochettino. And I think he's slightly changed his opinion now, and I do like to rub it in quite a lot, considering the last couple of months before he was sacked, he was just going on about him being sacked. But yeah, let us know in the comments. Also, if you've got any ideas for upcoming shows, we probably won't be doing a show until we come back after Christmas, because we do shoot this in college. But we could, if you want us to do one during the Christmas break, between now and the 6th of January, we could do. But you know what? If you want us to do one, make sure you let us know by sending us a DM into the Totally Football Podcast Instagram. Don't have Instagram, then just put it in the comments and press the like button. But yeah, as I say, we probably won't be doing one unless you really do want us to do one. But sticking back to Olympiacos Arsenal, I expect Arsenal to go through. Well, when I say expect, I don't even know what to expect with Arsenal, but I do think Arsenal will go through. Not convincingly, but I do think they'll go through. What do you think?
I can just really see him losing. They should get through. No, you're not going to say Olympiacos.
What, just so if they do go through, you can be like, I said it, I was there.
No, because I just actually think Arsenal bottle it.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no one can really argue with you, because
it's not like they haven't been bottling it this whole season.
Yeah, I mean, they bottled it the last... Well, I'm not going to start talking about Arsenal, because West Ham aren't exactly the best at the moment.
You can still say Arsenal terrible.
Moving on, because otherwise we'll run out of time. We've got Wolves Espanyol. I expect Wolves to go
Wolves
through
should
there,
be.
definitely.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think Espanyol are bottom of the Liga. I saw that in a comment section.
I'll check that for you now, lad.
If they are.
Espanyol are 17 games, 10 points.
They are going.
That is basically like Watford being in the Europa League right now.
I mean,
Yeah, Wolves
they
will
won the FA Cup,
absolutely batter them. That's that one over.
Yeah.
Before we move on to the Man United game, what do you think about Nuno Santo going into Arsenal? Because there are links apparently.
I don't think he'll do it.
But
You're at Wolves.
if you were Arsenal, would you want him?
Oh yeah. Not gonna get him though, are you?
Because I asked my brother about it, and he said he reckons it's a lack of ambition. It should be going for someone who's going to win trophies.
You have Freddie Ljungberg. He's
I agree.
he's
with you,
doing
mate.
brilliantly at Wolves.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want him?
Mate, I think Arsenal fans need to kind of
Who did you
settle back and just accept that for the minute they are crap and they need to be rebuilt. rather than going ambitious and let's probably get
we need
someone who's going to
who
win
us
trophies.
Yeah,
Hold a minute, let's get someone who's going to get you top 4 first before we start talking about trophies.
Get someone who's even going to get you on a winning streak.
I mean, you look
Not
at
even-
Wenger; they're all moaning because there was always like memes going around about him always being Mr. Fourth and all this because he always used to finish fourth.
They
I
wish
mean,
for that
they
now.
take that now.
Yeah.
They take him back now. But that's just a key example. Be careful what you wish for. But anyway, going back to Wolves, I do think they'll go through. Nuno Santo doing a brilliant job there, even
Then
though
you've
they had
got
a crap start to the league campaign. They kicked on. I think they were.
They're
They had
sixth,
11
aren't they?
games unbeaten. Is that correct?
I don't know. I know they're on a good streak.
I knew
'Cause
they
draw
were
every
10
bloody
games
game.
unbeaten or something like that, and then I'm not sure.
They have like 10 draws.
Yeah, I know they drew a ton, but I think doing a brilliant job there. I was one that predicted that they would struggle in the league. Not like go
I thought
down.
they would struggle with Euro.
I thought
with
they'd
the
go
Europa League.
12th or 13th by the end because of Europa League. But they're starting to cope quite well.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't really faced anyone big yet, but we'll see. But I think Wolves will go through. And the last game of the episode of the podcast, Club Brugge, is that?
Yeah, it's
Club Brugge, yeah, against Manchester United.
Manchester United will get through if they actually play a half decent team. Because what they've been doing in the Europa League is just putting academy players out. Like, you can't do that. I mean, yeah, Club Brugge aren't the best side, but they could easily like shock them.
Yeah.
Like if they just play academy players, they need to. I think they need to actually take it a little bit more seriously than they have been.
I think with Man United, I think it's almost like they're in the Europa League because they're so used to being in the Champions League and being successful. It's almost like they're like, what's this? It's the Europa League. Who cares about this? We're Champions League winners before. Who cares? They're almost like disrespecting it because of what they've done in the past. That's how it feels to me. But I still think Man United will go through. I think they've got some top youngsters coming through. And to be fair, Ollie, I'm not saying he has turned it around, but he's starting to turn it around for now.
I think I've said this on another podcast, but if he can get like the wins against lower sides,
They'll be decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they've got the talent there.
I think Ollie's doing okay for.
Yeah, I think
team,
for
yeah,
now,
really.
until there's an obvious replacement, I mean, like maybe Pochettino in the summer, but obviously if they get him, they'll have to pay 12 million now because that's a clause in the contract and all this, which I don't really understand, but I'm not going to go into that. But I think maybe wait until the summer. If Ollie goes and gets them fourth, right? Because they are pushing for that at the moment. Say he goes and gets them fourth, they have to keep him. What a job if he gets fourth after. They were like 10th.
If there's a great manager for them to get, they'll definitely just get him.
Pochettino is the one though, surely.
Yeah, I can see him going there in the summer.
But yeah, Man United, I think they will go through.
They should go through.
Yeah,
I just hope that I'm not hope. I don't really care, but if they go out, but they should really not take it too lightly.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna before we end wrap up the episode. I know we've gone on slightly longer than what we wanted to, Sean. But I just want to mention Ancelotti about to go into Everton. Do you think he'll do a decent job?
Well, I mean, it's Ancelotti, so he should do a decent job. He should.
Look at him at Napoli, though.
I mean, still got him out of the group stages.
Yeah.
I mean, they won't go down with him. Put it there.
Oh no. I think
Like,
I think we'll have to put if he does join in the mid-season like this season. I think you kind of have to brush that this season aside, and his kind of reign starts next season.
I think I saw something. He wants to make sure he'll be able to get the transfers he wants,
Yeah.
so he can go in because he probably really wants to build them.
Do you know, right?
Everton have the capabilities of being a top 4 side, don't you, really?
Yeah, I mean, I look at their team. They've got Digne, Sigurdsson, Richarlison.
All the money they have.
They
back
have
in
so
them.
many good players.
They have
but
so
I think
much
they
money
just
back
need a
in them.
manager that can calm the ship and put everyone in together and make them a good, solid team.
You throw enough money at something, surely at some point
Mate,
it'll stick.
Mate, if you look at some of the players they've got, even someone like Bernard, and they've got Walcott on the bench. Who have we got on the bench? Like,
Yarmolenko.
but
Zabaleta.
Zabaleta. They've got Seamus Coleman and Sidibe and Leighton
Pickford.
Baines, big old the Hobbit himself. But I think
England's
with
number
Everton,
one.
they have the potential there. They just need the right man. I think he could do a decent job in there. But we're not going to talk about West Ham today because we'll be here forever. We're about to reach the hour mark for all the listeners out there that are watching or listening, I should say. Well, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me today, Sean.
Thank you.
I quite enjoyed this episode. Something different rather than looking back at the Premier League. We're looking at the Champions League and European.
If you prefer this to just going through the Premier League games, let us know.
Yeah, because we could do this more often and do if there
We
is
could look at
Champions
other
League
leagues
one
as well.
week. Yeah, well, maybe mix
Even
it up a bit more
Championship.
so it doesn't get same old.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get as many views on the last one, and obviously we want people to be listening into it, and there's obviously a reason why people aren't listening. Maybe they're getting fed up with it. So any feedback that you want to let us know so we can try and improve it to make it more entertaining for you guys that are listening, make sure you let us know in the comments, or you can DM us at Totally Football Podcast on Instagram. And let us know also some topic ideas and that sort of thing, and also let us know your opinions on this podcast, as in the topic. Who do you think will go through in each of the fixtures? Thanks for joining us, Sean. That's it from me, Harrison Derlin, and we'll speak to you soon. If we don't see you before Christmas, everyone listening, have a lovely Christmas. And possibly, if we don't see you, a lovely, happy New Year as well to you. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you later.